All right, so get ready because today we're diving deep into some seriously mind-bending tech.
Yeah, buckle up.
We're talking Soul Sync, straight out of Blaine Tate's sci-fi thriller Soul.
It's a manuscript, right? Not published yet.
Yeah, draft manuscript, but wow, what a premise.
I know, right? Transferring your consciousness, memories, everything that makes you you.
Into a new body or even like a virtual world.
That's some next level stuff, and the way Tate explores the implications, it's
Not just like tech for tech's sake, there's real depth there.
totally agree. He really digs into the human element,
So, at the heart of it, we've got Tom Jeffries, brilliant neuroscientist.
But his obsession with the soul, it comes from a place of loss, right?
Oh, absolutely. Losing his grandfather, Walter, that's the driving force.
Makes his quest way more relatable, not just scientific curiosity.
Exactly. And then enters Billy Blackwood, tech entrepreneur extraordinaire.
They're like the perfect storm, science meets ambition.
And boom, Haven Wave is born. But that one, I gotta admit,
The wild ride Haven Wave, basically a precursor to Soul Sync.
virtual reality, but with like physical sensations.
You can imagine where that tech took off first, right?
Adult entertainment. No surprise there, but it does make you think.
For sure. Like, is that always the proving ground for new tech? What does that say about us?
Deep questions, and Tate doesn't shy away from the ethics either.
No, Tom definitely grapples with that side of things, while Billy's all about the market.
Then there's Lyra, this Haven user. Her story's where it gets
Blurry, right? The lines between reality and the virtual world.
Yeah, identity, intimacy, all those big questions. Haven Wave really throws them into sharp relief.
But the real game changer is Soul Sync, and that comes about because...
Tragedy strikes, Tom's friend, Marcus, debilitating accident.
And Tom's like, I gotta save him, not just his body, but him.
So garage, some seriously makeshift equipment, and he tries to...
Transfer Billy's memories into Marcus, a total long shot.
But it works, and it's not just memories, it's like personality, emotions, too.
Deeper than data transfer.
Yeah.
Suggesting, well, something kind of spiritual almost.
And that's when Echelon steps in. Mysterious organization, unlimited resources.
The classic too good to be true scenario, because there's always a catch.
Secrecy, control, they want Soul Sync for their own agenda.
Immortality for the wealthy. Using shells, people stripped of their own consciousness.
Chilling stuff, right? It makes you ask, what are the limits?
Huge ethical dilemma. Creating those shells, manipulating life and death like that.
And Tom, his allies, they're caught in the middle, trying to do good.
But also protect themselves. Those compromises. That's where the tension really builds.
So they try to rescue Marcus from Echelon, transfer his consciousness to a new body.
Daring move, and it kind of sets the stage for everything that comes after.
Because then we've got Thorn, Echelon's leader, and here's where it gets wild.
The big twist, right? It's revealed that Marcus, in this new powerful body,
He merges with Thorn, taking control of Echelon from within.
power move, but his motive isn't what you expect.
No, he wants to expose Echelon, dismantle it, use the tech for good.
But can he really change a system that corrupt? And what about the unintended consequences?
Because Soul Sync starts making copies. Billy, Nick, Andy, each a little different.
Identity gets fragmented, good and bad gets blurred. It's a total descent
A
into...
bizarre, unsettling world where the rules no longer apply. It makes you think, right, if we could achieve this, should we? At what cost?
Soul is definitely a cautionary tale, the power of tech, the ethics we can't ignore.
A lot to unpack there, and we're just getting started.
Oh yeah, this deep dive, we're going way deeper, trust me. What gets me is how the relationships, like, they really fuel the story,
Oh, totally. The characters' motivations, how they clash as Soul Sync develops, it's
Like this underlying tension. You've got Tom and Billy, for example.
such different approaches to the tech, right?
Night and day, Billy, classic entrepreneur, sees dollar signs everywhere.
Soul Sync, for him, it's disruption, market domination, the whole 9 yards.
He's not afraid to push boundaries either, sharing the Haven Wave schematics online. Bold move.
Risky, right? But I guess he figures widespread adoption, that's where the real money is.
He's playing the long game, control the market, not just the tech itself.
That's a really interesting point, but Tom, he's wrestling with the ethics.
He's the voice of caution, like progress at what cost? Human dignity, morality.
And then we meet Cassandra. At first, she seems like this.
Ice Queen, right. Echelon operative, all business, no emotion.
But there's more to her, especially when she connects with Tom.
That relationship, it's like a breath of fresh air in this cold corporate world.
Adds a human touch, but it also makes you wonder, where does her loyalty lie?
Is she with Echelon all the way, or is there something more going on?
Keeps you guessing, that's for sure, but then things take a turn we get.
The copies? Billy, Nick, Andy. each one amplifying different aspects of the original.
Like a distorted mirror, right? What happens to your identity when there's multiple yous?
And with each copy, the flaws, the darker impulses, they seem to
Magnify, yeah, it's unsettling, especially that motel scene with the Billy copies.
talk about depravity, soul sink, meant for healing. Now it's fueling the worst of humanity.
Dark side of progress. Any tool can be twisted, no matter how well intentioned.
And through it all, Tom's trying to navigate Echelon, protect Marcus, the tech itself.
Moral compromises, tough choices, he's constantly being tested.
It shows how even good people can get caught in these impossible situations.
But then, boom, the reveal, Thorn, Echelon's mastermind, it's...
Marcus, talk about a mind-blowing twist, changes the whole game.
Suddenly it all makes sense. He's taking control from within.
Dismantle Echelon, steer the tech towards good, but can he pull it off?
And the shells those people emptied out for the wealthy elite, it's...
Dehumanizing, treating life as a commodity. That's the real danger here.
Soul sink, meant to extend life, now it's perpetuating inequality, exploiting the vulnerable.
Reflects real-world fears, right?
Yeah.
Technology and social justice, we gotta be careful.
So, Thorn Simeon, I know, awkward name, but he's building his team. Cassandra, Billy.
New power dynamic, but he's facing resistance, those who benefit from the status quo.
Idealism versus reality, changing a corrupt system, it's messy, dangerous.
That dinner scene with Thorn Simeon and his wife Susan, wow.
So poignant, the weight he's carrying, this facade of normalcy, while orchestrating a takeover.
And the fact that she's pregnant adds another layer of complexity.
The ripple effects, how his actions impact those around him, it's...
Heavy stuff. And then he finds out about the farm, where they keep the shells.
chilling. The dark underbelly of Echelon, the human cost of their ambition.
Fuels his determination to expose the truth. But now he's got dangerous secrets.
The more you're at risk. Classic dilemma.
And the copies, they're multiplying, Billies running around, each with their own agenda.
Total chaos, like a train wreck you can't look away from.
That scene with Nick in a female body exploring his sexuality, it's
unsettling. Yeah, it makes you question identity, gender, how this tech could disrupt everything.
the house, Billy's house, it's descending into madness, a microcosm of what could happen.
Societal breakdown, right. Uncontrolled duplication, it's a warning sign.
Meanwhile, the cops are investigating Nick's death. The real world closing in.
Actions have consequences. Even with this mind-bending tech, it grounds the story.
The detectives are getting closer, connecting the dots to Echelon, Tom,
The walls are closing in, time's running out, secrets are about to spill.
and then the bombshell, Thorn Simeon. He's been recording the Soul Sync sessions.
Talk about leverage, he's got their digital souls, essentially.
Power move. But it raises questions. Consent, ownership of consciousness, who decides?
Slippery slope, and Thorn Simeon, he's not afraid to use it, shows his complexity.
Good intentions, but morally ambiguous actions. Does the end justify the means?
Makes you think. And then, out of nowhere, we get the monkey.
New host for Marcus Thorn. But it also represents something primal, instinctual.
That scene where it escapes, syncing with people at the house, it's...
Hilarious, but also terrifying. The unintended consequences, they're unpredictable.
And the investigation intensifies, exposure is imminent, the stakes are higher than ever.
Detectives are piecing it together. Nick's death, Andy's disappearance, Thorn's role.
Calm, Cassandra, Thorn Simeon, they're trapped, facing impossible choices.
Protect themselves or do what's right. Their relationships are tested too.
Tom and Cassandra, their connection, it's a strength, but also a vulnerability.
As the story builds, you see them wrestling with the weight of their actions.
The power of soul sync, the potential for abuse, it's a mirror to our own dilemmas.
Torn between helping others and fearing the consequences. That's the core conflict.
And in the end, they choose to run, escape Echelon, take Marcus Thorn, the Billies.
Desperate attempt to start over. But can you outrun your past? And what about Soul Sync?
The implications, the unanswered questions, it's a cliffhanger that really sticks with you.
Makes you think about the future, where this tech could lead us, the choices we make.
It's like Soul throws all these big questions at you, but it doesn't give you easy answers.
Right. It's not about tying things up neatly. It's about making you think, grapple with the implications.
Identity, consciousness, what makes us human, it really gets under your skin.
Exactly. It's an exploration, not a solution. And that's what makes it so powerful.
It makes you look inward, too. Like, if I could transfer my consciousness, would I...
Big question, right?
Okay.
What would that do to you, to your sense of self?
And then zoom out. What about society? How would Soul Sync change the world?
For better or worse, would it level the playing field or just make the gaps wider?
Would it even change how we view life and death? It's like,
A Pandora's box, you open it, and all these possibilities come pouring out.
Exciting, but also kind of terrifying, you know?
I think one thing Soul makes clear is that technology, it's a tool. That's all.
It's how we use it that matters, the values we build into it,
We can't just chase the shiny new thing. We got to think about the consequences.
the ethics, the unintended ripple effects. Soul is full of cautionary examples.
And this deep dive, we've only scratched the surface. There's so much more to unpack.
Oh, yeah, the philosophy, the real world potential. It's a conversation that could go on forever.
Definitely. But I think we can agree. This story, it's given us a lot to chew on.
It's a conversation we need to be having, especially now with all this tech advancing so fast.
We can't just sit back and watch. We got to be active participants, shape the future we want.
Tech serving humanity, not the other way around. That's the key takeaway. So there you have it, folks, our deep dive into the world of SoulSync.
From the science to the ethics to the very essence of what it means to be human.
It's a story that'll stay with you, make you question your own beliefs about technology and its role in our lives.
And hopefully it sparks some curiosity, some questions you'll keep pondering long after this.
Keep exploring, keep questioning, keep diving deep. That's what we're all about.
Until next time.